Hi, Si here from Music Radar. We're at Superbooth 2018. This is the Yamaha booth, which I say room because it's huge. Again, I keep saying that, but it is. So they've got all their new stuff, which is cool, but they can't ignore the vast amount of heritage at their disposal, and so they've brought a museum of all the cool things that they brought out in the past. Obviously, there's the granddaddy of them all, CS80. We'll come on to that in a minute. This is Ulf. Hello, Ulf.
Nice to meet you.
Let's just go around. Let's just dive on in.
Yeah. Well, let me start first. Yamaha actually started with older products. There was a big GX1 organ like this,
yes,
and the
course.
CS5. But we have to be honest, we don't have everything at Yamaha Europe, so sometimes we need the space. So and something gets lost and gets broken by time. Yeah. So what we have here is a combination of new and old. So we have. On top here is obviously the classic synth. It's the DX7 from 1983. Yeah, or 84. I'm not 100% sure. But this is so far still the best-selling synth of all time.
Yeah.
So this one was the one that. Made the sounds of the 80s.
It is the 80s, yeah.
It made
the bells and chimes of the 80s.
Unfortunately, some problems for big other manufacturers because it was fresh. You were able to store presets. You had velocity. You had 16 times polyphony. So that was something the analog technology couldn't. And there was obviously fresh sound.
Yeah. So it steered the industry into a new direction.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And this is the next generation. That's the DX7 2 range, which had newer converters, and in this case a faster SysX engine. That's why we connected it to this brand new D-Tronics DT7 programmer, which is actually a kind of a remake of a very rare unit which was produced back then. It's a Yellinghaus music programmer, which was huge and blue and rare. And this one is also rare. It's a limited run, but it offers a full set of knobs for every parameter of the DX7. So unlike the Reface DX unit, you have 6 operators, and you have full range of parameters per parameter. So if I press this and I want to change, let's say, the pitch of something, I can immediately change the sound to something that doesn't sound good anymore. It's something. The sound is now gone because I messed up with the operators. This is what you see. It's still a complex unit, but it's hands-on. So if you really want to dive into FM sound, this is something.
It's immediate for you. But you say it's a rare beast. It's
a rare piece. It's a run of. I'm guessing 30 to 50 pieces, and it's obviously something that only works for the first and second generation of DX, so it's something for collectors and people who love these units. And by the way, people who love these units may, of course, want to know that there's the DX1, which actually was produced in the same year as the DX7, but it was, of course, the technology flagship of Yamaha. It's basically, let's see if we have some sound here. It sounds like a DX7, but it feels a lot better because it's actually 2 DX7 in one. So you can pan the voices a little bit, get a little bit extra warmth. You can see the very big panel, so you have easier, I wouldn't say access, but overview of the parameters you have. Because there's no controls, it's still buttons, which was, I don't know, it was maybe the time of getting rid of controls, unfortunately.
That's it, yeah.
But
it was the future. Everyone wanted less sleek. That's what it's going.
But the magic is that this one has wooden keys and polyphonic aftertouch. So this makes it really stand out until today. So there's not many keyboards that can do that. 2 years later was the DX5, which is actually the same as this minus the keyboard. So it's just more affordable because this, I think, around 140 or something were made. This is what I heard.
So that's, very limited there.
Time-wise, between these two is this one.
Okay.
That's a TX816, and mentioning the numbers, it's 8 times a DX7 hidden in these modules, which are called TF1, and so you had 8 times 16 voices, and this is actually, for those who don't know, this is actually the unit that made for example, the Whitney Houston electric piano. It wasn't the DX7, because the DX7 is by itself, it's a nice synth and it's digital. But if you have this by 8, you connect it to a mixer, you pan everything, you detune it slightly. That's when you get when you get the big sound. So that's this one. It's nice until today, but you can see here with there's no control on it, so it's you need something to edit. So maybe the editor comes handy with that one.
yeah, absolutely.
We had this covered before. It's a Reface DX. That's the one we.
This is your current one.
That's a current model. Like the Montage, which actually the Montage actually can also do a 128 FM voices. So it's basically this unit is in the Montage. It will obviously sound a little different, but modern converters, more operators, so that's a more powerful unit. But we're here in the museum, so we could take a look at these from the mid-90s.
Oh yes, yeah.
So that's a DX200. It was a nice relaunch in a desktop format. So this is a. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I think it's also a 4 operators unit. It has lots of FM sounds in, and it has a drum computer inside.
Yeah. It was the era of the Groovebox, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a Groovebox thing with knobs, which is something.
Yeah.
That is maybe nice to have, like the controllers we have seen. Yeah. And the same was for the virtual analog model, the AN1X, and this is a Groovebox version AN200. So it has a 5-voice virtual analog model inside, plus a drum computer makes it a Groovebox. But these are nice units. Yeah,
they are. Although we're missing one. One favourite of mine back in the day was the RM1X. That's a very popular Groovebox in the area. Not here, unfortunately.
It was the big,
the blue one, the big blue one. We'll keep moving round.
Okay, so let's travel back in time. So this is obviously, like you said, the one everybody talks about. It's a CS80, fully analog, in a time where MIDI was of course not available. So that's 1977 when this was made. It's almost unliftable.
Having lifted it, yes. It's almost unliftable.
I haven't tried alone.
2 people.
Let's see if we have some sound. So what is special about this is also, it also has a polyphonic aftertouch, which is rare. It has a very nice ring modulator. Let's try some. Let me tell something about the structure of this thing. So it says, by the way, it has a ribbon controller, which is also nice.
Well, it's nice if you like touching the law. I don't like touching that stuff. It's horrible. I have to use like a pen or something.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's me just being weird, though.
And so back then you didn't have many storage locations in units like this. This one has a couple of presets. So if you want, let's say, a funky sound, you have... So, but you can't edit anything of this. Then you can set it to panel mode. You have one voice or one sound and the second sound, and you can stack all the sounds. It's all it takes a little time to get into this because most of the controls work the other way around.
Yes.
So if I want the ring modulator on, I turn the knob down. So this is or if I want it faster. So this is something you need to get used to.
Yeah, of course.
It's not a problem if you have one.
No, and how lucky you are. And of course, for memory.
Yes, and you have memory, and that's a special thing because memories are hidden below here.
Under the hood.
So under the hood, you can set your parameters, and then you have 4 memory controls, 2 in. So it's bitimbral.
Yeah.
The next one, this is a much smaller one and not that exciting one, but it's still nice. It's two voice polyphonic. It has presets, which in this case unfortunately no longer work, so we have to get it fixed, and a set of controls. This is more like an monophonic analog that we know now.
Yeah, so this was 2 years after.
That was 2 years after. It must have been 79, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a nice one. We don't have the CS15 and CS30, which I believe were before that. So these were more like you see in the Superbooth outside, many controls and upright panel. Yeah. But we don't have that here. So we have something which is not in working condition here. This is something Yamaha made. It's a convolution reverb, which you can now get as a plug-in, of course.
Yeah, but not back then.
But that back then it was it's really full of DSPs. So to get the processing power to do that. But yeah, we didn't find the remote control. So
that's shame.
And yeah, and finally this was an approach of Yamaha in 1994 to go into uncharted territory in sound design. So this is a physical modeling thing. So this is the one that maybe most of the people know. It's a VL1. It was, I think it was around 7,000 German marks back then. So pretty expensive. Two voices, and it's specialized on brass sounds, so you could connect a breath controller like this. And this is actually the real rare unit, the VP1, which is also specialized on stringed models. So it basically models the whole design how an instrument is made. If you have a guitar, you can make a guitar, the string length super long, etc. and like this. So this was 50,000, around 50,000 euros, and we are not sure how many were made. Somebody at Yamaha must know. But
not many.
But something between 30 and 50, I guess. So and this was really expensive. It's polyphonic, so it's also full of DSPs or specific chips. And let's see if we can have a sound here. So it really sounds a little bit of 80s, I would say, but if you change the control, you can immediately hear that you change it does something different like other synths. And here's another specific thing of this. While this sold in larger numbers, it had an editor software. And this one, there was an editor software, but it was kept by Yamaha, I think. I know one person that has it, but it was a special connector cable. So this means
never released.
So this means if you have this unit, you can edit it, but you can't edit it super deeply. But it's still super powerful. And it's just fun because those kinds of instruments like the CS80 or the DX1, you can really feel that they made it to prove we have the technology.
Got the technology, yeah.
So it all feels nice until today.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, we have
one more thing.
One more very hidden here, which was quite popular in the time of the DX7, where samples were new and unaffordable.
Yeah, of course.
So this is a sample-based drum computer, the RX5, and it has an included mixer. It has lots of outputs.
Dedicated outputs, yeah.
So. By the time a Linn drum and something like that was new, so not having the sounds of the 808 or 909 anymore, which were so popular again after, but everybody wanted sample because they wanted real drums like synthesizers. It was the same with the DX7. So you said, I want a real piano, and by today's measure, you would say this does not sound like a piano, but it sounds.
Back then, now it's not what they were going for.
Back then, it was better than anything else. And this one, it had samples inside, 12-bit or whatever, but it's still fun to play.
Another classic.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ulf. It's nice to step back in time and see all the sorts of heritage that Yamaha Europe have got sort of lurking within its ranks. So it's good. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment and share wherever you're seeing this video right now. And do check out musicradar.com for the latest news, reviews and tutorials. And we'll have some more Superbooth videos for you soon. So cheers!